Hello guys and welcome to the Onryoki tutorial. So today we're going to kill Onryoki. Now, as you can notice, I have no guardian spirit right now. That's because I went in there, I died, and I got back because obviously you respawn at the shrine. Now, not having a guardian spirit is important because I don't have the passive. Alright, the passive skills it gives me, I don't have them when I die. So the first thing I do when I get inside, I dodge if I need to dodge, and then grab my grave, and then the fight can start. Now, we're going to just run these guys, and then I'll show you what this guy is all about. He basically has two balls attached to chains, which he uses to hurt you, and then in the second phase you break the chains, and then the fight starts. Alright, so now positioning is pretty important. But you can just dodge behind, hit a couple of times, and go back. That's what you do in the first phase. This is the first phase. Okay? Because after some time you start to spin those things. When you take too much, yeah, you see? You start spinning those. Now you can avoid those, you can block those. If you block, all your ki will be destroyed. And that's a bad situation for you to be in, because then it's going to wail on you and you're gonna die. Or at least you're going to lose. You see that? Okay. I was pretty lucky there. He usually doesn't do that as the first attack. He does that. And then he does that. Now, positioning is important because this room is pretty freaking small. So, you know, keep that in mind. Okay, so get back here, do that, couple of hits, get back. If you do it in high stance, I would advise to do just one hit, at least with the sword. One hit, get back. Okay. You can also try not to go behind, but that's not really... I mean, you do much less damage if you don't go behind, so... You know. So, low stance, wait for him, dodge, high stance, low stance, move. Usually that's, you know, what you do with Onryoki. And if you're worried, just don't attack once and change your position. Try to let him stay in the center. Because in the center is the best. Because you have space, you know, to move away from him. And then you have space to go back to him, and then you have space to move away. That's your best strategy against this guy. See? Now, after this phase is over, the real fight will start. Okay, there we go. He's grabbing the balls and he throws them. So I would advise to move away from the left. That's what I usually do. Now, when you see that effect, it's because he's trying to grab you. I was going to grab another one and I'm going to do it on the left. Okay. Now. You see, in and out. Out. You can do more than one hit. I'm just trying to be conservative here because it's, you know, a tutorial, so... You know, you can dash. Now, when he grabs those, you want to be a little bit away from him, because if you're too close to him, you have no time to dodge. Which is a problem. Because if I'm right here, you know, it's harder to dodge it. Okay, that's his combo, he does that. You can break his horns like this. And you can do much more damage to him. Which is good, but then he really gets his ki back. And it starts again. You cannot break his horns twice. There's no way. Because you can do it once they're broken, they're broken. You cannot do it 2 times. So yeah, does the same thing, but you know, he has no horns, so it's pretty much the same thing, and he hit me. But I was in low stance, which means I got out after the first hit, which is good. Now, this is just a long fight. The first time you fight this guy is just long, because you have no skills, you have no damage, you have nothing. So it's just mostly annoying instead of being hard, you know. It's just... Okay, that's the backhand. You need to be careful of that, because the backhand really hurts. Like when you start to wail on him from behind, and you take too much time because you're being greedy. You know, you're just being super greedy. He does the backhand, and the backhand hurts. So you know, try not to do that. And then you avoid that. And then he grabs the other and you avoid that. He does usually that when you are too far away from him. Backhand. Try to grab me. I'm all in low stance right now, mostly because... Well, now I was in high stance. But low stance really allow you to get in and get out really, really freaking super fast. Okay, you're fast. You dash everywhere. One hit, I get out. One hit, I get out. One hit, I can get out easily. And when he does that, I can do one hit or two in high stance, because it does more damage. Now, as you can see, this place is getting full with yokai realm pollution. So after a while it goes away on its own. Or if you're good, you can purify this place with a perfect key pulse. Like that. And it grabs me. Get in, get out. Okay. Now right now I don't have all my living water skills. I just have the one for middle stance. But as you can see, for this kind of fight, I much prefer to be in low stance. Low stance makes most boss easier. Even though it does less damage, you can dodge much faster, and you're in a much better place to stay in low stance. Now as you can see, I switched to high stance there because I knew I had enough time to damage, but when I don't, I just do one hit in low stance and then I move. Now obviously right now I don't do pretty much any damage, but you know, it will change in the future, so the first fight is pretty long. Now I am prolonging this fight for the sake of the tutorial too, but honestly I could be much more aggressive here. I'm just showing you his moves, you see, but he does always the same stuff. He doesn't change. Once you know those 3 or 4 attacks, you're golden. Like, okay, now I think 1 hits or 2 hits and he's dead. It doesn't particularly matter too much. So, you see, avoid the balls. Goes for the balls again. Jeez, he really likes his balls anyway. Yeah, sure, you can punish him when he does that. I wouldn't advise it as your first time. Are you stuck? No, he's not. Okay, that's good. And then... and he's dead. Okay. Sure. Now, you get all the stuff. Now, we got the demon's horn because we broke his horn before. So, I hope you learned something about Onryoki. You're going to need to learn him because in the future you're going to fight him a lot. He's not going to be like a normal enemy. You're not going to find him too much, but you'll find him in a couple of levels, and not as a boss. So it's going to be easier because he has pretty much the same amount of HPs, and you're going to do much more damage. So it's like, I don't know, you avoid him 4 times and he's dead because you're going to do much more damage. So pretty much low stance, get in, hit, get out. In the first part of the fight, when he has the balls and chains, get behind. If you can, if you feel confident enough, go to high stance, hit him maybe once, then back to low stance and get behind. So you just have to avoid the chain spin, and then when he has no chains, you have to avoid the balls, just like I show you. You can also, instead of dodging like this, you can run. You can definitely run while being locked in to the boss. So if you see him starting to throw the ball, you can just run left if you have the space. Keep in mind, if you do a perfect dodge, you can even dodge towards the ball, because this game has iframes. So you can dodge toward the ball, hit him, and go back. It all depends on how confident you are on your abilities. But I mean, if you're watching a tutorial, it means you're having problems. And I mean, this guy can give new players a lot of problems, mostly because you don't do enough damage when you start the game to fight Onryoki. And I mean, after a couple of times, I believe you can dodge him quite decently. Problem is, doing that like 30 times, it becomes harder and harder and harder, because it increases your chances to make, you know, a mistake, which is perfectly normal. So, you know, when you make a mistake and you don't do damage, he does do damage, so you're going to die. So, you know, keep that in mind. But honestly, it does always the same stuff. So once you get the pattern down, you dodge, you hit, you get back, and you keep doing that. That's your easiest way to kill Onryoki. Not the fastest. It can be killed much faster than this, but you know, I wanted to show you how you should approach it as a first-time player. So thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you in the next video when I'm probably going to tackle Ieyasu. Goodbye, guys.